how Pacific Perks came to be. It's kind of like walking into a Starbucks, which creates this great culture where people can actually have a life.
Before you explore franchise options, take a few minutes to understand how you are wired. The assessment link is below. Welcome to Franchise Focus. Today's episode focuses on a brand built around creating memorable event experiences. I'm joined by Natalie Fairchild, founder of Pacific Perks. What started as a mobile coffee concept has expanded into a full-service catering platform, from espresso and smoothie bars to ice cream socials and made-to-order food stations. This is a business built on premium service, repeatable events, and strong local relationships. We're going to break down how it works, what makes it different, and who it's really a fit for. So welcome, Natalie. How are you?
Thank you so much, Laura. I love that we're doing this today. I'm doing great.
Good. So give us a quick look at your background and what led you to or found Pacific Perks. Started.
Yeah. So over 18 years ago, back in 2006, my husband Jim has MS, and it was taking a toll, and things were changing, and we had to do something different. And everyone, we were in our early 30s, and everyone was climbing that corporate ladder, kind of finding their groove, and their place in corporate world. And we knew we were just slipping. Our hands were just slipping off the ladder.
Yeah.
So that's how Pacific Perks came to be. We were living in Colorado at the time, and I was born and raised in the Pacific Northwest. And we decided to move back and create something where we could balance each other out. Jim could take a nap in the afternoon if he needed to. And really, it was a do or die for us. This was what we were going to do. And, some people were like, they tell us later. But, after, 18 years being in business, it's been a gift. It's been something that I want to share with other people that may be in the same position, or maybe they've got something where they're like, something's got to change.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I am not a great cook. But I do have a coffee catering company. Very, very passionate about creating experiences for people. And making it easy to work with. And that's where that repeatable feature comes in too.
So let's walk through the model a bit and how it came about, or how you just made the choices, not a storefront and the flat pricing and all that. Let's walk into that model and how it's unique.
To this day, simplicity is one of our core values. And so this became a simple model for us. No high-end retail space. We have a little light industrial under 1,000 square feet. Works great. We've expanded our number of services than when we started. I think we started with like 4, espresso being the main one. And now we have 11. And every time we bring on a new service, it's got to fit in a simple box.
Gotcha.
Or we're like, okay, we're not doing it. So we just added the dirty soda bar, which is a whole other conversation, and something that is really, it's rolling.
Yeah,
it's taken effect for sure. But we have 11 services, but only 2 price points. So we kept things simple there. The mobile aspect is, I don't love waiting for customers to come to me, like in a retail spot, or if you bring a coffee truck to a soccer little, whatever you call it, tournament. You don't know how much product to take. You might serve a ton of people. You might serve very little, and you've done all this effort. With our concept, we know exactly how much product we're taking for the length of the event. The event average is 2 hours.
Okay.
And we're 80% of the time we're paid before we even head out the door.
That's great.
And so there's no cash exchange. So the clients will pay a flat fee. And then when we get there, what I love about it is we're just there to create an experience for people.
Yeah.
If they get a beverage and they're like, oh, I don't know if that's really what I want, or can we change it? No problem. we're there to make their dreams come true. So it's kind of like walking into a Starbucks and everything's free and, you're just treated like royalty. And whether it's community, whether it's at corporate locations, different niche markets that we have, we get to just create experiences, spread joy, and then head on out.
So bulk of your customers would be, let's say, corporations that want to put on an event. They're hiring you at a flat fee. They don't have to worry about people consuming too little, too much, and
Yeah,
they
exactly.
want an experience for their people, and then you come in and create that experience.
Yeah,
It's
that
amazing.
is, yeah, and, people who value their employees, it's so important to create that culture, and,
Hmm.
our plates are very full, so to work with us, we come in and we're there to create the experience, their employees are happy, and everything's taken care of, and the HR person or the office manager can still do their job. Now, in before 2020, um, about 60% of what we did was corporate, and of course,
Hmm.
that dropped when everyone came
Right.
home,
Okay.
and then we just shifted into different niche markets, like manufacturing. We can go around the clock.
Hmm.
6 a.m., 3 p.m., and maybe 10 p.m. Apartment complexes is another one, property management, where we work a lot with. We work
Okay.
with banks, credit unions, different things. So a lot of salespeople will use our service.
Oh, excellent. I guess, yeah. What is if we walk through a little bit about the role of the owner, the franchise owner, what are they doing and how are they acquiring these customers and managing the business?
Yeah, for sure. So we've dialed it into some 10 top niche markets to focus on for marketing, and we have that training for them. But this
Hmm.
person is very comfortable with community, talking about what they're excited about, and their day to day is developing a small team. Which is part of the gift in this is that you get to create a culture that we've created for other
Hmm.
people to work.
Yeah.
And so, what their day to day looks like is a lot of it is, business development, talking to people, a networking event, going to a chamber thing, things like that, talking to clients, booking those events, getting all those details in order, and then just making sure the carts are ready, that you have the stock, you have enough smoothie mix and you have enough milk and ice in ready to go for the events, and then treating people, the team, very well, getting them ready to go do the event, and then processing payments. So that's kind of the simple version of what we do.
Uh, So typically, does the owner, are they doing the networking, the sales, and then they hire people that are putting on the events? You know,
Yeah. Typically, that's how it is. If we have a great franchisee candidate who is like, I don't love the marketing, but I'd love to hire somebody for that, then
hmm.
that's okay. But yes, typically they're focused on most of the marketing. The franchisee owner needs to definitely know how to do the services and be
Okay.
trained on them,
Okay. Yeah.
because it's, people get sick.
Yeah.
You may not need to be able to backfill that with another perkologist. So you can slip in with seamlessly and take over with that. But yes, I'm really a proponent of working on your business and not in it. So having that small team that's doing the events, and then you are working with the clientele and reaching out to the community and setting up connection calls and, small meetings and things like that to get the word out.
But it is an option because some people I do talk to are not comfortable in that networking or that sales role. Is there options where it makes sense for them to be able to hire a person to do that, and then they're still managing the rest?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does, but I would say, we that's something that I really talk through, and sometimes our conversations end there
Hmm.
because they have to be willing to hire somebody that's what they're going to be doing a lot of the time. I'm working
Yeah.
with a lot of couples, which is so great, and one of them tends to have that,
Okay.
comfortable with clients and marketing and connections. And the other one wants to do the work or manage the operations on the back end. And so that's a great compliment.
Are there certain hours that tend to be busier for these events, or how does
Yeah.
that? typically
Yeah, and
fall?
this is surprising. So I'm glad you asked that question. So most of our events are Monday through Friday in the morning.
In the morning.
Most of
Okay.
them are. Now, again, we do events in the summer. We're doing a lot more afternoon, ice cream Sunday. We're scooping Sundays left and right. In the holiday season, we can tend to do more evenings as well on top of
Hmm.
that. But most of what we do is Monday through Friday in the morning. And then we do some Saturday events
Okay.
as well. Yeah,
Okay.
but that does not mean that, again, the franchise owner is working those. So I haven't worked a Saturday event in I can't tell you how long, unless I'm on call and something goes awry.
Right. Okay. Mm, Um, okay. So in terms of that flat rate model you said, and you only have two different pricing. So how does that work?
Yeah, so we've got the Bevan treats, and there's 6 options there, and then we have the food bars, and the food is like omelets, crepes, waffles, quesadilla, grilled cheese, so simple cafe, yummy comfort food. So that
Yeah.
is by the person,
Okay.
the food is, and then the Bevan treats, we go by the time.
The time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, and then we work with the client on exactly how many we can serve in what time period, how many people are they expecting to make it a good event for both parties. So we work with them on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do a lot of people do both the food and the beverage?
Another great question and something I need to talk about more. Yes, we do that a
Yeah.
lot. We've recently just had a client book at 3 different properties, and they're having a crepe bar and an espresso bar at each one of these properties on the same day. So we're gonna be at 3 different locations with 2 carts each. And that's really fun for our employees too, our pergologists, because they get to
Hmm.
work together. But if you could imagine, they order their espresso bar or their espresso drink or chai or hot chocolate, whatever, and then they go over and grab their crepe
Yeah.
and they are happy.
Yes, they are happy, I'm sure. So the customer experience, how do you compare that to traditional catering?
Yeah. So the real thing is, it really starts from the moment you go to our website or the moment you call in or email us. That customer experience starts there. So it's getting back with them very quickly. I don't know how many times I hear, "Thank you so much for getting back to me so quickly." And
Mm,
it always surprises me because they're
right.
wanting to spend money with us.
Right.
We make it simple. We know exactly through our proprietary software what questions and details that we need to
Okay.
get them taken care of. We send a confirmation 1 week prior. They know exactly who their percologist is going to be, when they're going to arrive, all of that. So we do a lot of back end stuff to create that experience from the get go. And then the difference between catering and us is that we're there. Actually, there's a person there representing Pacific Perks to create that experience. So it's not dropping off
Drop and go.
food
Okay.
or beverage and like, here you go. And then I don't know if you've ever been in a break room after caterings come in and there's so much to clean up.
Yes.
What do we do
Yes.
with these leftovers and all these pans and all this stuff? So we clean it all up and then we head out and it's like we were never there. But really it's creating that interaction and that experience with those people, asking how their day is, or if they haven't ever experienced a dirty soda bar, we get them excited, tell them what it is, give them the options, and they're excited as they put their own concoction.
I was gonna go a different direction, but now I lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah, no, you were saying people calling in. So are you doing enough outreach that you typically are getting quite a few inbound, or how does the networking and whatnot, is it eventually
Yeah.
somebody that's calling in?
Yeah,
How does that
absolutely. So we have a very high repeat rate.
Yeah.
And so we get bookings and we have, you're able to put an inquiry in on our website. So we get more and more of those these days. Even repeat clients, they'll just say, "This is the date, this is the service I want, this is the time frame. Yep, we've used you millions of times." And
Hmm.
that's the easiest way for them to submit the request. And then we
Yeah.
follow up with them and say, "We've got it you on the schedule. And if we need more details, we'll reach out to them."
Hmm.
So, yeah, that's typically how it goes. In the beginning of the business in 2007, in '07, there was a lot of phone calls, right? And
Yeah.
things have kind of changed in that realm. So the easiest way for them to communicate is how they do it. But yeah, so you've got the high repeat rate, but you're constantly reaching out. In marketing, you just can't take your foot off that pedal.
Right.
You just
Right.
got to keep it going, just bite size consistency, and things just come in. And every time we do an event, it's a marketing opportunity because people's wheels start spinning. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my daughter's getting married. My spouse's work would love this, that kind of thing. So we capture that marketing as
Oh, that's
well.
right.
Yeah.
So the formats, you do digital marketing, you do networking. What other types of marketing tends to bring awareness besides the
Yeah. Yeah,
repeat
you of
people?
course, you do the social media for the branding type
Oh,
of
yeah, of
thing.
course, right.
You know, we are the networking, we connect with HR people, so I'm involved with the HR
Yeah.
industry.
Okay.
Some of our key niche markets were
Yeah.
connected that way, which is
Okay.
great. We were just they had our service at a little mini trade show for property management. Well, that was a great opportunity to meet all these people. And then it's
Yeah.
in really, Laura, it's what you do with that information, right? Because
Yeah.
those cards or those contacts can sit on your desk, but it's taking those, working them, reaching out to people, connecting, and being kind. You just never know when you're going to run into somebody that could use your service. So, yeah,
Yeah.
so it's networking, events, chamber type of things, after hours where you meet different people. LinkedIn is such a great resource.
Oh, is it
There
really?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, you can do for a niche market again with HR, you can put HR in the city that you're in,
Yeah.
and it will
Yeah.
pop up all those people. And then you
Yeah.
can see if you're connected to them. And so
Yeah.
then you go to your connection and go, "Hey, could you do a soft intro to this person?"
Yeah.
So
No, absolutely. Great
yeah, so
idea.
that's a great one. And then you're going to be, as franchisees start out, we at headquarters help them really try and boots on the ground, get that going in those key markets and get them thriving there. But there's also a lot of different things that we can do. We can all, we're posting about that new franchise and who, to our clients and newsletters, like, who do you know? Do you have an office there? That kind of thing.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Um, do you see a world where you could get enough and you start having corporate accounts where people,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
want,
absolutely. Like, we
I don't know,
work with
car
Dignity.
dealers?
Yeah, we work with Dignity Memorial, and so they're a
Right.
funeral
Okay.
service, and
Yep.
so, yeah, we work with them in our area, and that's when we would go after and say, "Okay, this is what
Yeah,
we do
absolutely.
here," and get those corporate accounts. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. And then in terms of things that may surprise new franchise owners, what typically is the biggest surprise for them when they get into this business?
Well, I think that I'm definitely a proponent of not running around with your head cut off.
Yeah.
So having the technology and the steps to do the job efficiently. And I'm a big proponent of also, what do you want in your life? Do you have small kids right now that you want to be present for? Do you want to be volunteering at the school on this day?
Hmm.
How to make that work. Another thing that is very interesting and people are surprised about is our perkologists are W 2 employees.
Okay.
However, they put their availability into our PerksWorks system,
I love
and
that.
then we
Yeah.
schedule out based on their availability, which
Right.
creates this great culture where people can actually have a life and get
Yep.
out and make some money and spread joy. So that's always an interesting thing. And it's different. And we've been doing it for 18 years, but it's different. So people kind of have to wrap their heads around that. Well, wouldn't it be cheaper if I had a contractor? Well, there's a real gray area with having contractors and W 2 employees. States
Right.
don't like that very well. And you're showing them that you're investing in them and that they are part of a team. And it
Yeah.
goes a long way. It really
Yeah.
goes a long way.
Especially that flexibility, I think,
Yes.
just
Yes.
make sure you get enough of but give them the hours. I see the same thing in like senior care, you give them those options. Not the
Yes.
same cool software that does it, but yeah, the same
Yeah.
idea, at least it tends to make them happy.
Yeah, for sure.
How does someone typically scale this? Does it really just start growing with word of mouth, or how do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start doing events, and I always tell our franchisees, like, do a couple free in the community that are going to bring you some ROI. People seeing it are just going to be like, oh, get those contacts, get them on your monthly newsletter, that kind of thing. And so they're starting out with 5 carts,
Okay.
actual physical carts,
Mm,
and then the equipment for all 11. So if
okay.
you imagine like a plug and play, like a standard blank cart, and then you're grabbing the equipment for the service that you're doing.
Okay.
So when we started in '07, our first kind of real full month, we had 14 events. And then the next month we were in our 20s. And
Wow.
so, and this was from September to December. We started with 1 cart and 1 espresso bar machine, and we had 5 sets of both by December. So it's easy to scale. You can add an additional cart, it's affordable. You can
Mm-hmm.
add different equipment pieces. They're affordable. And
Mm-hmm.
then you can add your team members as you need them. And one thing
Right.
about that's different for us as well is these are part-time as needed employees. So if they're not on an event, they're not being paid. So they're being paid when they're working events. So if you scale and now you have 6 people on your team, you're not paying 6 people all the time.
Right.
You're paying the 6 people when they are working events.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
No, makes sense.
yeah.
And they get tips, so there's some upside for them, right? Yeah.
Yes, we put a standard gratuity on all the events. There is no
Okay.
tip jar on any of
Okay.
our carts.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. It's there for the people to enjoy
Yeah.
complimentary. And yes, and that definitely bumps up their pay exceptionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Biggest misconception people may have about this offering or
Yeah.
this?
And I just sent it out. They think we're a food concept, which technically we are. And some people love food concepts. Some people are like, oh, I'm not touching a food concept. We're an experience creator concept.
Yeah.
So that's what we focus on. Yes, our coffee's amazing and the food is yummy and delicious, but it's the experience we create for our clients and for who they are serving that is the big one. So the
Yeah.
big misconception. So if you're someone that maybe has had loves putting on birthday parties for your kids or hosting little neighborhood or friend group events, and you love kind of some cute fun details and the joy that it brings, this might be something you're interested in. Because I couldn't make an omelet to save my life or an espresso, really, honestly, when I got
Yeah.
started. That
Yeah.
stuff can be taught. It's the soft skills.
The speaking of the food though, I didn't even think about that. So are they ordering that through your supplier? Like how does that work? How
Yeah,
are they
so
getting that?
these supplies can be purchased locally in their area. So they're
Okay.
not going
Oh,
through
okay.
us. So it makes
Okay.
it very easy. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And
Good.
there's
Good.
no slicing or dicing or big kitchen build out in your light industrial space. You need a 3-part sink to wash things, but the food is, for example, the omelet bar. The mushrooms are purchased, sliced, and ready to go type of
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Though the coffee I thought it was, do you guys have
That
specific kinds that you like? Yeah.
Yes, that is the one thing. However, what we do is we connect them with our local roaster that creates our own blend, and
Right.
they're getting it at wholesale.
Wonderful. Okay.
So the
That's what I
same
want.
price that
Yeah.
we pay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I imagine you get to a point where you've got crews running multiple events at the same time.
Yes. Headquarters, we have 15 carts. And a couple Fridays ago, it was National Employee Appreciation Day.
Oh,
And we had 17 events that day. So,
wow. Wow.
and December's our busiest month. And we have around 230 events in about 3-ish plus
Weeks.
weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So seasonality to the business, I guess. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have what we call a Sweet Perks calendar. It's a fun marketing tool
Mm-hmm.
for marketing people, for HR people, anyone that's putting together events. And it's amazing, Laura, how many things there are to celebrate. Like the month of May is Nurse Appreciation
Oh,
Month.
that's so good. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then we have templated emails focused on that to get those booked.
Perfect.
We
Yeah.
work with all the hospitals and clinics and things like that. Teacher Appreciation Week is the first week in May, so appreciate your teachers. And
Yeah.
we book out completely for that. I
Oh,
think we
I
did
imagine.
over
Yeah.
60 events last year in that 1 week. Yeah,
Yeah.
and overflows into the next week. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's there's truck driver, appreciation, there's EMT appreciation, there's
Yeah.
doctor's day, admin professional. There's always something to a niche market that we pull from.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
No, I would imagine. And I'm sure there's a lot you could do with social media too. Do you find people reach out through that, seeing some of the activity of those?
Sometimes they do. We do get those. I feel like social media is a real branding tool.
Yeah.
Just remembering Pacific Perks, seeing, the espresso shots coming out or the omelet being made. It's kind of more of
Yeah.
a branding thing. We have gotten events from that. It's kind of one of those things these days, Lori, you just have to, do. You just
You
got
have to do,
to
right.
going. Yeah.
Anything else that you think is really important for people to know about your model and who's a good fit?
Yeah. One thing that is a given, but I always forget to talk about is this is a fun business. So if you enjoy spreading joy to people,
Mm.
then you will love this business concept. If you value balance of life, not running around with your head cut off, you'll love this business. And if you're a community person and comfortable with those sales and making people's day, that's a really good fit.
Yeah. No, I could see it. It seems like such a fantastic concept to me. I would
Yeah.
love to see it in action.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll try and make that happen. But
Yeah.
we do have some videos. So,
Okay. I'll have to check those out.
yeah.
Well, thank you again, Natalie, for your time. This has been great, and I've really enjoyed it, and look forward to continuing to hear how you grow.
Thank you so much, Laura. We're excited my dream is to have little Pacific Perks all over the United States where there's the culture and people are like, "Oh, I can breathe easy and I can balance my life." So
Yeah,
that's my hope.
that's
So,
great. I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Thanks
Awesome.
again.
Thank you, Laura. I so appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.